Look at that.
Did you see it? I heard it wasn't even secure.
That's for your long distance bills. That should cover it. Thank you. No, that actually is on behalf of everyone, and that's why you yourselves a Wally or Brian, if you're going to Sherry was saying, Darren, Sherry, and Ryan were saying that that's what you guys wanted. So we didn't want to buy you a piece in case you couldn't get the other piece to match. So that's for you guys for your Wally. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everyone. We're in a golf bag. That well.
We bought it. This is so funny. That's a big cola.
Made out of ceramics.
Oh, I remember that. Do you remember? Sherry, too bad we didn't have that.
Trying to sell it at a garage sale.
Do you? We should have wrapped that. We should have wrapped it up there.
I told Dad that after he gave Mom the album, I said you should give her that.
Or in the product of your phone.
Oh, we have to.
We all knew that.
Didn't mean to say it so long.
What a weird sister.
That was a good site, Brian.
Was that a good time?
Yeah, that's a good site.
Well,
Hey. I was thinking about that replacement
Right.
but I couldn't find it.
Right.
Right, you don't know how lucky you are.
Oh, we meant that.
Read what it says there.
Read what it says. What does it say?
Read what it says.
I don't know what this says.
Yeah, read what it says.
Oh, I can't read all.
You should get everybody to autograph that. The back. Press the button on it. You gotta read what it says.
Read what it says. All right.
This one says older men make better lovers. Okay,
press the button.
Press the button. It doesn't shut off for an hour.
Oh, yeah, I'll leave that here.
that's all the cards and gifts. Okay. Great. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Especially like to thank Pete and Arlene for making the trip under such short notice. Everyone that's traveled from their homes, Alberta. Alberta. I'd like to thank you for all making it. I guess we'll start the evening with a speech from Aunt Wendy, if I could get her to come up, please.
First, I'd like to congratulate Brian and Donna on their 25th wedding anniversary. When I was asked to make the speech, I started to think back on when they first met. It doesn't seem that long ago. In fact, it kind of just seems like a couple of years ago to me. But I believe it was when we were down in Walmart at a dance. Brian and I were home for a weekend, and Donna happened to be down to visit with the Colfases. And Brian was dancing with Carol, and he was dancing with Donna, so I never paid much attention. Then we all went back to Regina, and Brian went back to Edmonton. And it wasn't too long after that that I got a phone call that Brian had been run over by a car. And I was really upset because not only had he been run over by a car, but then they gave him a ticket for jaywalking. So I thought that was really an insult to injury. But then shortly after that, he came back to Regina and stayed with us for a while, and I thought it was all because of this accident. But it wasn't too long till I figured out what was going on, because I was living in a house with 6 girls, and here was Brian going over by bus to visit Donna every night. So it wasn't, I think it was about a month or 2 after that he told us he was moving in with the Duckworths. So then I really knew that it was serious business. And I think it was in the March of that year that they announced their engagement. I was looking through my diary, and it's in the entry there it says, Burl and I sit in all day, Brian engaged. So my mind was on other things at that time. Then that summer they came out to visit us at that. My friends and I were all working at Banff, and they came out to visit us. So that was nice. And I have some pictures that I brought along of that time. There's there's a real good one of me and Donna. We've got long hair and bell bottoms, and we look real cool. Then the next thing that I can remember was the wedding itself. And I remember kind of picking my way along in high-heeled shoes in the ice and snow, and thinking it was rather an odd time to get married in such cold weather. But then I think Brian and Donna really like cold weather, because it was 40 below, I think, when Darren was born, and 30 below when Sharon was born. And then I think it was even cold when Ryan was born, so it just goes on and on. But after that, they were living on Quebec Street, and I had met Zach, and we went over and visited him quite a lot, and we really enjoyed their company. But it was a real strange experience for someone like me who grew up in a very small family. It was like Grand Central Station. There was Rellies coming in. And then there was Darren and his friends playing floor hockey all over. And then there was Sherry doing flips and cartwheels through the house. And Ryan unscrewing the table legs. So it was a bit overwhelming at times, but we really did enjoy spending time with them. So when they moved up to Robert, we missed them quite a bit. So we've made an effort to get up to visit with them and keep in touch with the kids and watch them grow up. And I think they've done well in Robert with their new home, and they've got good jobs and stuff. So we can't be too selfish. Other than that, I'd like to wish them a really good 25 more.
Okay, next I guess we've prepared a few little skits on YouTube, so if we can get it together and get everyone that's involved in the skits.
The actors to the roots had just begun. However, who knew what was yet to come?
It was between the years of 1973 to 1975. Brian began playing with interprovincial cycling, better known as IPL. Both of them were involved with Frank and Shelby in the grocery store. While they spent both day and night working, they seemed to find time to play. Darren and Sherry made their way. A few years later, Brian and Frank, entrepreneurs into the sign business. Many of their evenings are spent posting signs for Century 21. Brian was very handy as he also made his own trailers. Good thing he had another side job, as for every trailer he made, he received a parking ticket or some other violation for the trailers. Baskets, baskets, baskets. Donna and Bonnie began selling liquor at home parties. Donna and Brian's basement transformed into a wicker warehouse. Not before too long, a butter appeared in one of the baskets, and Ryan came along.
Jeez, my arm's getting sore.
Soon, the wicker years came to an end, and Donna resumed her job of 10 years previous, as she began working once again with Steel Brothers. While both of them kept busy with full-time jobs, they also kept busy with full-time children. Darren and Ryan with various sports such as soccer and hockey, and Sherry was involved in gymnastics. Many hours were spent at these events supporting their children. Donna and Brian bought themselves a cozy little cabin on Long Lake, as they both enjoyed camping so very much. Donna sunbathed while Brian played. The next big move was the move to Carruthers. Renovations were on once again for Brian. He added a deck onto the house. However, Carruthers seemed to get a bit more wind than Brian was used to, as his deck kept blowing away on him. The years have passed as Donna began work at the credit union, and Brian has moved up the ladder with IPL. Their children are beginning new lives for themselves as well. Darren has begun university and Sherry has begun hairdressing, while Ryan is completing high school. Donna and Brian keep hoping to win the lottery to support these new lives their children have begun. Donna and Brian, throughout the years you have kept us smiling and shared your laughter with us all. May your silver anniversary bring you joy beyond compare. May you find a world of pleasure in the memories you share, and in your future may there be more happiness in store, along with the things in life you are both hoping for. Please sit back a moment and take a look, because this is your family.
time to do the lyrics, but if the words are a little out of place, just hang in there. My song's called 25 Years of Hurtin'. 25 years have come and gone for a couple of people we look upon. I'll tell you a story, it's sad but true. Bri married Donna, but should have had due. The courtship started a few miles away. Donna received letters while Bri was away. The letters had footnotes of sex and love. Donna thought Brian had come from above. It was Frank's sneaky work that sucked Donna in, for he added those footnotes to the letter within. I'll tell you folks, this is a real hurtin' song. If you can bear with me, I'll continue along. Bri was a sweet kind of bashful guy, but Donna's crew made him just want to die. His face would turn red at dirty jokes and such. I don't understand why Joni did that so much. Canned goods began to vanish from our home. Not a thing in the cupboard, not even a bone. Donna was a thief so sneaky and sly. For Bri she'd beg, borrow, steal, and lie. As months passed by, Bri moved right in. One less pork chop for us so thin. I'll tell you folks, this is a real hurtin' song. If you can bear with me, I'll continue along. That's my chorus, so you can hear it loud. Chalmers Church was a setting for their big day, but Donna's dad, John, thought he might just be gay. An apartment on Gray Street was home at first, a love nest they made, for better or worse. Money was tight from here on in. I remember Mom locking her cupboards again. Past the street was their next stop in town, where a ball child was made when they were fooling around. Proud parents they were with Darren their son, but God was he ever a homely one. I tell you folks, this is a real hurtin' song. If you bear with me, I'll continue along. A dog named Boots became their family pet. Sam said to Frank, "That's the best looking member yet." Time to move on, they needed the space. To the north side of town, they showed their face. With money so scarce and condoms so dear, another bun in the oven was their worst fear. 9 months later, Sherry Dawn was born. Poor little Duffer was to meet Grandma Duck's scorn. I tell you folks, this is a real hurt song. If you bear with me, I'll continue along. Donna found herself too busy for her face to make. The days of looking pretty she'd have to forsake. Bri would come home to a house full of noise. Donna would greet him by throwing the kids' toys. The stress grew more as the years passed by, but Donna still loved Brian, even if his sweatpants were pulled up high. Well, the price of condoms had finally come down. Donna loved to use coupons, but one couldn't be found. A brother in the making for the other two brats. Donna and Bri would have to settle a few spats. This son they called Ryan was an active boy, his poor little sister he did annoy. Shannon would babysit and sweep the floor. No, Shannon would babysit and the floor she would sweep. When the lovebirds arrived home, they paid her so cheap. I tell you folks, this is a real hurtin' song. If you can bear with me, I'll continue along. I've got about 5 pages. Not much was happening for this family of geeks, so a business was started in a matter of weeks. The business they started was called Ryland. One of the partners was their next of kin. Late night for parties was always the norm. Donna couldn't figure out why Bonnie always beat her home. She thought it was Bri's checkered nightwear, but really it was the hole in his underwear. Off to the lake, camping the Parsons would go, they'd sit around the fire with love all aglow. The evenings were filled with nature at its best. The kids were bitten alive by those flying pests. They needed a summer place to settle down, so Belmont Beach they finally found. Their outhouse out back supplied a fabulous view. Everyone took turns sitting on the can and yelling, yoo-hoo! Company would stop by for a coffee or coke. A rock or two they'd have to pick, and that's no joke. This little resort began to fill. Frank and Shelby visit often. They thought they were running a steal. 2 more cabins were sold on this hill. 2 wonderful families with looks that could kill. The Kwongs bought the cabin down the lane. With Kelly in the middle, they drive them insane. Frysburg gave a promotion he couldn't refuse. Donna followed along, not really amused. The wind would blow and the dust would fly. Donna still loved Fry, but she was wondering why. Darren was the first to leave the nest. They both agreed he really was a pest. Sherry was next to venture out on her own. And Ryan said with a smirk, "Sherry, don't leave me alone." The years have not been kind to Donna May. Her face cream hasn't worked, and her hair has turned gray. For Brian, the time has not been barred. Superstore asked him for his senior card. Well, here we are to honor this pair. When the bill comes for supper, they better pay their share.
Yeah, but I might not get there.
With all joking aside, this really is a special occasion. Actually, Darren told me if I say something nice, they'll pay for my meal. No, all joking aside, this really is a special occasion. Nowadays, it's quite an accomplishment to celebrate 25 years of marriage. Over the years, Donna and Brian, you have raised 3 wonderful kids, ran several different businesses, and held down full-time jobs and put up with Frank. I wish he was here. I really wish he was here to hear that. This should be a real celebration of its own to have accomplished all that. Not only did you manage to set aside time for each other, but there was always time left over for family and friends. So congratulations, Donna and Brian, and thanks for sharing the past 25 years with all.
Now, I can say something without being interrupted. I think Bonnie's kind of winded now. Hi, my name's Randy. Hi. And I'm a... I was talking to Bud the other day, and I said, sure, I get kind of nervous and uneasy up here talking to a crowd like this. And Bonnie said, just be yourself. Just be cool, calm, and collected, like you are always, eh? So I says, okay, I'll give it a try. Hey guys, hey, I'm Boomer. Shannon approached me a couple weeks ago and asked if I could say a few things nice about Donna and Brian. I immediately jumped to the idea because I like them a lot, eh? But then I realized, what good things is there to say about them? As a matter of fact, what the hell am I doing here? But I can recall Shannon saying something about us getting paid for coming up here and talking. I don't know if you all know, but Donna went to the doctor's a couple weeks ago, and I first thought that she's having another kid on the way. I said, Donna, at her age, late 40s, and when looking at her 3 kids, 3 homely kids there, you would think they want another one. So Donna gets home, tells Brian the good news. Donna says to Brian, Brian, got some good news for you. Doc says, I'm healthy. I'm a healthy guy. And says, I got a mind of a 30-year-old, a body of a 25-year-old, and boobs. Well, I won't repeat what he said about that. Brian sarcastically says, what do you say about your big ass? And she snaps back. She says, never say anything about you. On the serious side here, I think Donna and Brian is a good role model for all us married people here. They have a lot of trials and tribulations of being married, and a lot of ups and downs. Well, I still hope there's ups and downs still. But, you know, with the love for each other, I think that's a success for a good marriage. So, congratulations on your 25th. As you see, my kids couldn't make it here, and they want to be here so much. Not. So they did a video for them. So here's what they had to say. I'd like to put this in the video recorder.
We're so proud.
Sherry and I made with the help of some pictures that we got from Shannon and Grandpa and Diana and Grandma Parsons. So we'll roll this now, I guess.
Good. My 25th anniversary. And I hope I look this good under 50. I met Donna and Brian 15 years ago. I began babysitting for them. I somehow seemed to become a household fixture, and they took me in with open arms. We shared many a laugh, and they have been more than a friend to me. They are like family. I recall a time when Brian was involved with Frank in Century 21 Signs, and Donna and Bun were in Wicker. It was their anniversary, and they both had to be on their way out. I prepared a quick romantic meal for them. It consisted of candles, wine glasses chilled with Coke, and hamburger mush. So aren't you all glad we had the meal catered tonight? 25 years is a milestone. It takes a lot of compromising, sacrificing, and effort on both parts. There are never any guarantees, but somehow Donna and Brian make it seem easy. Through their efforts and sacrifices, they have raised a beautiful family. They have been supportive and understanding parents, whether it be in spending hours being the loudest fans at their children's sports, or in taking the time out to see how their day was. Their children have always come first, and they have always found the time for others. My memories consist of many late nights playing cards and Yahtzees and wonderful weeks camping. In fact, the first time I had a bit too much to drink was with Brian. And that's the night, after every statement I ended it with, "That's honest the truth." Well, Brian, I wish I had learned my lesson, because there have been far too many honest the truth nights. Not too often you come across people like them, and I consider myself very fortunate to have done so. They have been there for me and have been there for so many importance in my life. I couldn't have coped with my mom's passing nor my graduation without them. Their love and support has always been there, and for that I am ever grateful. They seem to shine a light into every situation. It's easy to see where they obtain their qualities, as both of their families, the Parsons and the Duckworths, have a special way of making everyone feel important and like one of the family. Donna and Brian, you're one of the most precious people in my life, and if I may be so lucky to share a marriage as successful as yours, I couldn't ask for more. Your marriage is a blessing to others. Congratulations on your 25 years, and best wishes for another beautiful 25. I love you.
Well, I think that's all the speeches for tonight. I've been elected to be the speaker on behalf of my dad's kids. We asked Ryan to do it. He didn't want to do it. Sherry said she wouldn't do it. So I guess I got it. First of all, I'd like to thank you for being our parents. You've been there for us through all the tough times. You've been there taking us to sporting events, 6 o'clock in the morning hockey practices, taking Sherry to gymnastics. You guys gone through a lot of tough times moving. We've stuck together as a family. I'd like to congratulate you on your 20th. I hope we'll see you in another 25 years. Thank you. We love you. Let's share it here. And I'd like to thank Pete and Arlene for coming all that way. Mommy, Randy, Debbie, so many people, Grandma, and Duane, Zach, family. Thank you for all coming and sharing this moment with my parents. I'd like to thank my Grandma Parsons for getting the cake. I'd like to thank Sherry and Brent and Shannon and everyone that helped set up today. I'd like to thank Embry Ham's Catering, the bartender, done a wonderful job tonight. I'd like to thank everyone. If I've missed anyone, I really didn't mean to. Thank you, and I guess everyone's invited to Auntie Shelby, Uncle Frank's, and Frank. Thank you for everything.
Being married 25 years and we've had family and friends like we have be by our side. Our pride and joy has been our kids, of course, watching them grow up, go to school, their sports. It's been our whole life. The last 6 years have been hard, but we've all been here together. We've all been doing it together, and I'd like to thank them very much for helping out with that. I'd like to thank Brian for being the person he has been. He's had patience galore with us and our families.
Even if he sends you to your bedroom?
Even he sends me to my room. I guess I just feel I've been very fortunate to be with the family